Connecting, streaming. Uh-oh. Not yet. Edit. I forgot to set the date. Today is February 6th. There we go. Okay, hello. Hello, everyone. Hello, comrades. Welcome to another episode of Out of Construction. I'm your host, Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. Let me put the link to the thing in where it belongs. And I'm getting pinged somewhere already. We're just starting. We're trying to start. I'm trying to do what I need to do, trying to get the ball rolling. Appreciate your patience, everybody. There we go. Oh, what? I misspelled route. I misspelled the word route. We're gonna do a thing. One second. Bear with me. This is why people do the long intro streams. Hello, Dragon. Hello, Douglas Welsh. Hello, Trainz, the best PN president. Okay, everything is pasted, everything's set up. That was a slow start, but, you know, we get to play not Tetris, so whatever. We already have a whole bunch of people in the chat, though. This has been a meteoric rise, and I normally don't even look at that. I don't even look at the number of viewers because I only have one screen, but, you know, hello, Mew. Let's put this right here. This is a great start. We're doing great. Today's going to be a good day, maybe. Hopefully. I was playing Fallout 76 before we started here, and I was trying to get to level 50 because I think as far as I understand, hey Virgo, as far as I understand, that's the highest level for like weapons and armor. So I'll be able to use some stuff that I wasn't able to use earlier, and I'll be able to craft some stuff at the highest level possible. Now, for those of you that remember when Fallout 76 came out, you know, about 100 years ago, it was pretty panned. You know, it fumbled a lot at the very beginning, but that game has one of the best communities in online gaming. I swear to God, and it has gotten a hell of a lot better. You know, they've added stuff, they've removed stuff. It is a whole world now with a ton to do. And they recently just changed up the legendary crafting system, which, if you're familiar with Fallout or Bethesda games in general, right? Because are there legendary items in the Elder Scrolls series like there are in Fallout? Well, either way, if you're familiar with that, yeah, it just works. Hi, Commander Big Bob. If you're familiar with that, they revamped the whole legendary system and like legendary crafting and stuff like that, which doesn't much matter to me because I'm a lowly level 49, but, you know, it certainly made things interesting. And yeah, no, I don't need more monitors is the thing. I need more desk. I need more room, more real estate, more space. But I don't want more desk. So I'm at a bit of what you might describe as an impasse. Oh, shoot. No, whatever, I'm not playing Tetris. I'm playing not Tetris. I like my desk quite a bit, and I don't intend to replace the desk. And also, I don't really have space. Even if I were to make the desk larger, I wouldn't have space for the larger desk. So, you know, the one thing I could do maybe is get longer cables and put my tower on the floor, which that's one of the things that honestly I'm surprised I've never like knocked my computer tower onto the ground. But it's right here. Everyone should know that. It is right here out of sight. So I don't know if that is, I don't know if that's enough. It's not enough. Shoot. I need to knock over my Tower of Z's. There we go. Doing a little construction and destruction over here. No, it wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. Um, hmm. Eh. Okay. That should give me something. Look how many of these I have. Look how many of these I have. This is ridiculous. Um, oh no, I'm gonna block off that. Okay, yeah, I'm totally screwed. There's no way I can come back from this. There aren't enough little bits. Um, no, no, no. All right, that was short. It's okay. This might be. Yeah, but even if I had like a way to mount a second monitor, there'd be no way to put it here. Can I try sand tetris? I have done sand tetris in the past. I have done it in the past. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to that right now. But um, what is this? What is this? What I was just pinged in something about server parts. I mean, I'm talking about computer parts. 6 gigabytes per second, 24 terabyte drive. Oh my god, I don't need that. I do have I do have computer parts on the way. Um, I do have computer parts on the way, which are just hard drives because those are basically the only parts that I purchased myself. Um, okay, let me let me send the thing to the world in the uh, in the videos channel on the other place, on the big server, uh, on the Trainz community server, and of course, so this right here should be our job for today, or at least one of them. Maybe we'll start with this, or maybe we'll start with something else. And of course, we've got to do our ceremonial, our soda, our weekly soda, which this time is a lemon lime. Yacht Club, of course. We're not sponsored, but they should sponsor me. Ooh. That has quite a bit of lemon lime. That is a lot more lime than lemon, I'll be honest. That's a very limey soda. I can't say I'm in love with that. Make it a big parking lot. This is the first one that I'm not, like, super glad about. Yeah, no, I don't want to add more. I got this, although I could do at least some of it as a large parking lot. It wouldn't not make sense. Especially because we've got the, the baseball field there. Yeah, maybe I'll mark out like this part of it. Nah, this place isn't fancy enough to have a parking garage. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this part of it as a parking lot, and then this part of it as just houses. So we're in Surveyor 2.0. Let's not be in Surveyor 2.0 for a minute. Oh, and I need to, of course, switch to the route layer so that I don't do anything bad. Yeah, this on it. I mean, it does fit the vibe. Also, hi Pat. It does fit the vibe to have a big parking lot here. I'm thinking of Pawtucket. I'm thinking of McCoy Stadium, which, for those who don't know, McCoy Stadium, which is a local baseball stadium, which closed down a couple years ago, it had the Paw Sox, which were the farm team to the Boston Red Sox. The crazy billionaire dude that runs the railroad in Alamosa, that was the person who tried to buy it. So, hello there, Kaiser. Alright, let's do this. Long live the Paw Sox. Sadly, the Paw Sox are dead. Long live the Paw Sox. Get rid of this baseball stadium, put it to Dunkin' Donuts Center, yeah. We did establish that Dunkin' Donuts is contemporaneous with the route last time, right? We were talking about all the things that you could have. All of the modern fast food chains that might still be applicable. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to touch up the edges with the grass, the edges that are not going to have parking lot entrances. Yeah, in Femboy Hooters, we did talk about that. I mean, that's my fault. I posted that thing in the other chat that somebody made in Fallout. And then let's put this down here. One of the three of the Atlas Trainmaster N-scale 60-foot passenger cars I ordered have arrived. The other two should arrive tomorrow. The Chesapeake Flyer will be complete. I'm glad you're excited. Duncan and Dick's? Okay. Like the sporting goods store? Make this team the Paw Sox. I mean, I could. It would be... It doesn't really make any sense. I don't know why this place would have a paw sort of deal going on, but you know what? Whatever. Should we do with the big curb cut on this, just like we did in the other one? I mean, I honestly, I don't do enough of parking lots. And I know that we're not quite in the era of tons of parking lots. That would be in maybe 10 or 20 years. But it certainly makes life easy. So, you know, we're approaching the age of the automobile, right? Like the real age of the automobile. Put a streetcar system in so you don't need as many parking spaces. Now you're talking like an urban planner. And, yeah, we like that. We like that. We take those. Alright, give me the fence grass. Because that's a thing. And it works pretty well. And then we'll put that down this side. Put in the trolley system that Providence badly needs. Yeah. I would love that. I would love a nice little, at least that goes from like Pawtucket to the airport, you know. And I've worked on a transit study that's sort of related to that, but I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it will eventually. But you know, as we say around here, vote for transit. There's also if we're talking about baseball-themed sports teams, there's also the Hartford Yard Goats, right? Those are a fun one. And can't think of any other ones, but that one's pretty good. Yeah, and you know, an 060 is a Bourbonus. I know it's not a goat type, but you know, it's still pretty good. It's still pretty close. Let's bring this driveway into there. And we don't have any 060 trading cards, do we? Because I probably would have run into... I know we have an 080. I don't think we have any 060. But I feel like I would have run into the problem of what to call the 060s earlier than that. We're definitely going to have some 060 trading cards soon-ish. They're on my list of special orders, believe it or not, some 060s. But, you know, we've got other fish to fry. We've got batch 5 that's got to come down the pipe. We've got to work on that. Got to decide exactly what it's going to be. But I've got other things that are in the pipeline there. So 7470 would be fun. 7470 or 7312 into the MBTA. Yeah, I mean, the MBTA is a future past where you got like you've got all the commuter engines around Boston. It'd be cool to do a double ender card. That's a good locomotive. I like that thing a lot. As well as the other commuter tanks that they had. It'd be fun to do a Boston Revere Beach and Lynn Forney. Or not Forney technically, because it's not a Forney because it's articulated. And even if we want to talk about Forney patent Forneys, I still stand by the idea that if you're calling something a Forney, it's not a bogey. Right? Like, it's not a Mason bogey. And all of the BRB&L Forneys were Mason bogeys, so they've got to be called something else. And I have something for this. And I need to go through and add this to the main sheet. I need to just take the leap and accept the fact that I am the new, whoever the dude who did the white system. And I'm the captain now, right? Like nobody else is naming wheel arrangements, but we've got lots of wheel arrangements without names. Someone's got to do it. I'll do it. All right, hold on. I'm gonna jump into Surveyor 2.0 just to move this spline point back. MBTA 1013, yeah. I need to find a. I need to find an appropriate color for special order helper cards. Because that's one of the things I don't have. Everything else has, like, special colors to determine where it came from. But not helper cards yet. Actually, I take that back. Museum batch helper cards are a different color. But we haven't done a museum batch yet, so soon TM. Maroon, we've got a maroon already. We've got a dark red and we've got a lighter red, Santa Fe red. I think that is museum batch. Is Santa Fe red, and then museum batch helper card is like a Pan Am dark blue. Pink would be interesting. Breast cancer awareness trading card. Okay, let's actually jump back into Surveyor 2. Let's see what we can fit into this parking lot. I mean, it doesn't have to be super realistic, but I'd like it to be at least somewhat realistic. No. I don't like that. Ooh, some Illinois Central orange. Ooh, yeah, we don't have an orange. That would actually be great. Like, genuinely, orange is probably the right choice. Oops. Yeah, this is not a realistically shaped parking lot, but it is what it is. Breast cancer awareness card. It should be of the breast cancer awareness. Yeah. I mean, I love that thing. Like, genuinely love that thing, especially because last time I was there, we had a kid that was just absolutely ripping it. And if we weren't using that locomotive, it would have gone flying. But, you know. Okay. Let's just bring this out to sort of a central corridor looking arrangement. Also, so total aside, right? Total aside. Because this is my chance to talk about things, just random things. I am not one for binging shows. I don't know about you guys, but I am someone who very, very rarely binges anything. I mean, I'm not somebody who waits to watch a show until it's all out. I'm also not really somebody who likes to watch a lot of TV in one sitting. So I'm kind of like the perfect storm of an anti-binge individual. Because I get bored. I don't have the attention span to watch a TV show for a really long time. I'll watch an episode or two, and then I will move on with my life. And that's just sort of me. That's where I'm at. And I will come back to that story in a second, because I need to answer Douglas Welsh's question. Douglas Welsh, this might be a dumb question, but what exactly are your trading cards? I don't understand the concept of it other than profiling trains. Well, it is a little bit more than profiling trains, but at their heart, that's what they are. Similar to baseball cards or, any other sports trading card, they provide you with information about the thing that you picked up a card for. And that, I feel, is of value, just intrinsically, right? It's got data on it. People like data. People like to learn about things. But even more than that, the cards are used for the loco games. And you've probably seen the loco games around on this channel. If you're not familiar with what they are, you're welcome to poke around and look for stuff called Locomotive Royale or Locodome on this channel, which are great examples of what we call collectively the loco games. We will have another season of loco games coming out soon, although it will be different than the formats that we've done sort of on their own before. We're going to be doing a locomotive versus, so a 1v1 and one engine versus one engine, and we'll probably be like seeking the best example of a given class, um, or a given type, or whatever. We haven't decided on the thing yet. But no, we did physically make the cards. As a matter of fact, I have some cards right here. Now, these cards are not mine. I have mine in a binder that's tucked away back there. These are Gloria's cards. And I'll just grab one out of here just to show you. I don't know which one this is going to be. I'm just pulling out a random one. Gloria does not have their cards organized, nor do they play the logo game, so they're doing it just for collective purposes. Ah, this is wonderful. We have the Milwaukee Road. So these are the cards. They've got numbers on the back, as much as you could want. 40 stats on each card, give or take. And they've got different rarities, and they come in different packs, and you can pick them up and trade with your friends. I really, really, really enjoy sitting down with a group of people and just trading. I also enjoy playing the game, which I don't hardly get to do, because I usually run the game. Yeah, Pat recommends the 113 episodes. The very first Royale we did, was a white, or was it white? I'm looking for white edgeline. There we go. White line single spline. The very first Royale we did, the thing that kicked off the whole thing was a 113 specific Royale. And here we are. We're like 10 seasons down the road. And we've had excitement and heartbreak and dynasties and all that sort of thing. So I really like the games. And I like the cards themselves, because they are not just a thing to play with and to trade around and to look at, and they are also useful for learning. They're great for comparison as well. I mean, the whole reason that they exist, literally the reason they exist, if you trace it back far enough, is I wanted to settle Fomer arguments. And so we invented locomotive versus. Locomotive versus was designed to settle the debates, and that led us to eventually making trading cards when Steamtown came out with theirs, and I saw them and thought that I could do better. I'm still quite convinced that I am doing better, but the problem is nobody knows my cards exist, and of course Steamtown is Steamtown. So, win the battle, lose the war. Okay, so I want Jersey barriers again. Let me get some Jersey barriers. Here. Jersey barrier spline. That's not Jersey barriers at all. Just having Jersey barriers on their own, just chilling, I feel like is some sort of sign of, not like ghetto, but, an area that might be a little bit rougher. And I'm going to add a spline point here. And I'm going to add another spline point here, just so I can make a little gap so that people can get through to there. And when do you know it? We did half of this block. Frisco 1522. Frisco 1522 haunts Trainz Street. Like, genuinely haunts him. There we go. We got some parking lot. Thank you for the recommendation. Okay. So what is next? I mean, this area here is probably going to be sort of a carbon copy of this area here. What I'm wondering is if I can just grab a section of houses, but the problem is these blocks are all irregularly shaped, and everything is like, there's something special about all of these blocks, which is great, but it's not great because if I make a duplicate, it's going to be really obvious. Uh, so I can't do that. I should just start throwing down houses like I usually do. I also have to do this intersection, which I'm not excited to do. Like, very not excited to do. But yeah, check out the trading cards. Um, you can find them on our website, which is linked in the description, theironhorseman.com. Um, and if you have any questions or concerns, or if you want to order a special order, you can contact me at the email address that is listed on the site. I do intend to make a form for special orders. That's something that I want to get around to. But it's kind of down on the priority list behind these special orders and figuring out batch 5. I currently have 3 special orders in the works. 1 is basically done, and 2 are in progress, you might say, like well underway. And then the third one, or the final one, is we don't have any data for it yet. I'm not sure how we're gonna get data for it. If Casey was here, I would ask if it was okay for me to tell you all what it is, but I think she's at pinball, so, you know. Oh, I just grabbed the driveway, not the house. That's not what I want. Okay. It's actually a cool house. Should I really pack him in this time? Like, I feel like I should really pack in these houses. Because I don't know if I'm getting the density I need to get. There we go. Something that I'd love to do. Well, I need to do a couple of things. One, we need to have like template logo games, which is something I talked about maybe a month or so ago, and I never had time to sort of pull that together. So I really want to do that so that we have games that are like, this is how you play. And maybe we can even have like a post-commentary sort of deal with those where we go through and we talk about the moves and we talk about the plays and we talk about the stats. Because I want people to know how to play. I want to make sure that this is that house down there, isn't it? Yes, it is. I want to make sure that when you click on one of the games, from the document where it says this is how you play, if you'd like to see an example, go here. That people get the information that they need to get so that they are incentivized to play on their own. The other day I learned of someone that had done a Royale independently, which is very, very exciting to me. Like, really exciting to me. I love that so much. Even if it's a digital one, I love it so much. There are, of course, tools to play the games both digitally and physically in the document center on the website, but they're not really quite the same as the ones that I use when we make the show. So, and I'm not hoarding those. I just am not entirely sure how to export them in a way that other people will be able to use easily. I probably have figured it out now, but I'm waiting on... I'm going to sort of refactor the website so that I can add Merger Mania and stuff. Flying Dragon asks, is Trainz 2019 more optimized than 2022? I would say, in my anecdotal experience, and this is just my personal experience, so don't take it as gospel, but I would say no. And that's really interesting to me, because it's one of those things where usually when you go up in version, you tend to get a better game but worse performance. You get a more technically demanding game, but you don't, and in exchange, you get more stuff. more game stuff. That's not really the case with 2019 to 2022. And my own experience is I spent very little time on 2019. I sort of grabbed it, went through it, and went on to 2022. And, Locomotive Rail post game show sponsored by Yacht Club. Hell yeah, I wish. Um, Basically everything for 2019 is going to work in 2022. Number one, the only difference is what like things you have access to immediately, like which routes come bundled with it. I think, uh, but 2022 is a better game in every respect. It really does feel like N3V put out 2019 and then realized all the ways they can improve upon it and turned around and kicked out 2022. That's what it feels like from somebody who was still playing Trainz A New Era during that entire like sequence of years. Um, I left A New Era. I went through 2019 just to load in the route and to make sure everything still worked, and then I went into 2022, and it did seem like a performance improvement. Um, so it doesn't hold true. That typical adage of like, oh yeah, you can play the old version because it's older on this computer, which it would otherwise not be, cut out for it, right? No, you want to jump straight to 2022 if you can. Now, 2019 goes on sale more often than 2022, so there's definitely plenty of good reasons to grab 2019 if you're moving up from Trainz A New Era. But if you get the opportunity, if you have the money, pick up 22 instead. Something kind of smells like burning. That's not good. Anyway. If you ever come to one of my Joke PM business meetings, we all play Local Royale at the end. We should, and we should do it before Josh leaves so we can rope him into it. I'm destroying the soda, and the problem is I'm destroying it because I'm starving. I was doing, like I said, I was playing Fallout 76 before we got started with this, and I really wanted to get to level 50, and I fell short. And I wrapped up doing that with like 10 minutes to spare, and so I just sort of grabbed my soda, put the dog out, and started the show. I am very hungry, and at some point it's going to get the better of me, and I'm going to have to end the episode so I can go eat something. Which is a shame because there are dishes in the sink. It's one of those days. I was not. I didn't take my 2 hours in between ending work and starting this to like do chores like I probably should have. I took them to, you know, I took them to play Fallout, which is not very responsible of me. But sometimes you gotta live a little. Adulthood is just giving yourself a little treat all the time. Okay, let's put this on the side of the house here. This reminds me a little bit of the house I grew up in. The chimney especially is almost exactly the way it was, although without this weird flare at the top. That's a style point though. On an off day this summer and I'll go to the club for the day before Josh leaves, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. You guys are my excuse to go to the Providence Northern more often than not, because usually I go for the meetings and nothing else. If you buy trading cards on the site, you can actually select pickup, and I will bring them to you at the Model Railroad Club. That's where you pick them up. But other than that, I don't go much. Okay. Now I want to put like a relatively tall thing around this and a big lot in the back. So let's get some kind of brick wall. Not this. This isn't fancy enough. Let's do Yeah, this soda is very, very limey. I've gotten over it. Like, I'm still drinking it just fine, but I just, burped a little bit. And it's really limey. It's like uncomfortably limey. Um, okay. I need a brick wall. How about this? Is this nice? It's probably too tall. I'm gonna have to sink it into the ground a little bit, but yeah, let's see how this looks sunken into the ground. Actually, I will do the whole thing, and then I will sink it into the ground together in Surveyor 2.0. The drink is punishment for puns. No, I was never the pun guy. I was never the pun guy. Wiebold was always the pun guy, and I would always chastise him for it and boo him. And the pre limes, right? If we had limes back in those days, then I'd be chucking limes through the computer screen at him. But like, nah, he was always Mr. Terrible Puns, and I was always Mr. How Dare You, Mr. No Fun. Okay, I need to scoot this in a little bit, so we'll do that when we get into Surveyor 2 as well. I need to sort of like, what's the word? I need to fleet my tasks or do my tasks in bulk. Speaking of organizing, I really want to play more Railroader, and I keep hearing about very cool mods that aren't out yet, including the used market mod, which is so great, which is exactly what I asked for, and I'm so happy about it, and I cannot wait to play with that. No, you cannot force Jersey to run the New Haven RS3s. We shouldn't. I don't know if I should let him run at all. I don't know if the most recent episode of the ES&DT is out yet, but I dispatched for that lunatic, and like, I don't know how anyone survives. Just check some things in the Trainz forums. Apparently, 2022 doesn't use the GPU, huh? It's definitely using mine. I mean, it definitely is CPU limited, but that's my computer. My computer is CPU bottlenecked. As far as it definitely uses the GPU. It's out. The thumbnail has his profile pics and stonks go down. Yeah, well, there was I managed to get Jersey across the railroad without wrecking him into anything, but boy, was that a headache. I would 100% do it again, though. Especially now that I understand so much. Like, the last time I had dispatched for that railroad, they had just unlocked Alarka. And it's a great, fun, chaotic thing because you've got so many people. It is probably more people than you should reasonably have on a railroader save. Not because you don't have enough, like, crews for them, because we definitely had enough stuff to do. But, like, goodness gracious. Okay. There we go. I did what I wanted to do here. You wore your New Haven sweatshirt. I think Gloria wore their New Haven merch as well. At least until I got them the WWF beanie. And then they wore that for the rest of the time. And they're wearing it today. When they left the house to go out for the evening, they were wearing the WWF beanie. Also, shoot, like, Valentine's Day is like a week away. Can you believe it, guys? And oh shoot, I'm gonna have to look at that. For a settlement, yeah. Sorry, I was just checking my pings. If I was more of a hat guy, I also would have gotten the beanie. I also would have got the beanie because it's a really nice hat. Like, I even put it on for a minute, and it's a really nice hat. You know what's really funny? In the background of Mark's vlog, you can see me handing Gloria the WWF beanie when we're all around the the Lego booth. When we're at the Lego booth, you can see me handing Gloria the beanie in the background. I love that so much. It's such a great moment. I say it's not really of any significance whatsoever. I just love the fact that it's in the background. And actually, no, you want to know the best part? You want to know the best part? In the vlog, and please tell me you guys have seen the vlog because it's so great. Um, in the vlog, um, when we're leaving steaming tender, you can hear, um, you can hear Gloria go. Gloria say to me, "You parked all the way over there," and me go, "It was the closest spot I could find." It's oh my god, I was cracking up. Uh, I'm so glad we got to hang out with them. Looking forward to next year. Can you believe it, guys? The Big E, just 355 days away, or something. Um, there we go. Okay, what to do next? I need to I'm picking the right fences for the vibes for these, and I think this is going to be one of those stretches that has no fences in the way, and then maybe this has like a chain link fence. Um, I just love that so much. I love that that's immortalized. Uh, I'm volunteering and participating in the Yankee swap. Hell yeah! And we were short of this is the first time that I can remember us being even remotely kind of short on volunteers, and I didn't spend a lot of time at the booth. I mean, I spent a decent amount of time, but I didn't spend a ton of time. Um, Something that we absolutely have to do at this upcoming meeting is make sure that we say, "Hey, we need to work on the modular," um, and the modular probably shouldn't be. Well, we need to work on the modular insofar as we need to figure out why the engines are going bad, and also something fell off in transport, like a water tower or something, when we were getting the modules inside, which was less than stellar. But you know, yeah, thank you. Yeah, the water tower. Um, it's got some, it's got some issues. It's getting old. It's getting up there. Um, it's not old enough to join the Providence Northern Model Railroad Club yet, but at some point it will be. Um, yeah, the engines were stutter stepping all over the place. It was kind of atrocious. Um, Depending on the days you're going to work on the module, I'm down to help. Yeah, no, well, what I think will probably happen, and this is probably what I'll agitate for, is we should just wait. We should, make notes on everything that was acting up and just hold our horses until uh, probably, I think, the middle of June or so, which is going to get here way quicker than we expect, but, the middle of June. Um, because the Grange sessions end for July. Like, we don't have Grange sessions July and August, and that means we can set it up in the Grange room and and do thing there. Hello, Mopac. Um, do thing then in there, and then we can have it set up for multiple months, which is uh, something we're usually not able to do because it usually has to come down before the meetings. Okay, this, yeah, this is fine. I think I'm going to extend this to over here. Excuse me. It's very, very limey. Very limey. Yeah, living next to the ballpark. More chain link fences. I'm sending in more chains. And then we're going to put in a fence. You know what? We'll just leave that like that. We'll leave that like that. We should put in a Turner dairying car as a display on the module. Is there like an HO scale one? The wheels and track, like both of the engines were serviced pre-show, and people were going nuts trying to clean the track while we were at the show. So I would think that yes, but I don't know what was wrong with it. I honestly have no idea. It's kind of above my pay grade to know, um, because I don't know enough about. Frankly, I don't know enough about model railroading. I wish I knew more, but I do not, and I scarcely have time to learn, sadly. So someone smarter than me is going to have to figure out why the module was acting up so bad, and then figure out how to fix it. And then what I will do is I'll partially bankroll a thing with my dues, because that's the way it works. You show in 30, it could be like the pier in Wiscasset. Yeah. The 440 was not. In fact, I would say that Peachy, my 440, did most of the running during the Big E. Like, more running than any other locomotive on that layout. Because both of the diesels were acting up so bad, uh, I got the locomotive to run, I got my American to run, and it just kept doing that because it ran. Um, and also, now I realize how important the intrigue of having the automation is. Now, what I do need to do is I need to have, basically, I need to have that locomotive speed matched to one of the diesels that are on the layout. That's what, oh, you were switching with the 440? Awesome. Was it still having trouble backing up? Because I was kind of hoping that kink would work itself out, but it did not seem like that was going to happen. No, yeah, as long as it didn't have a heavy scale test car in the back. Well, and the layout just wasn't very level. Like, we've done better. One of these times I'll be able to get up there for setup. This was not the time. This was the first week, or first Big E, that I took off the Monday afterward. And that was the right choice. That was a savvy decision on my part. It let me not be so exhausted and crabby immediately afterward, and let everyone go to the Seaplane Diner, and let us put the layout away, because I grabbed some of the horsemen and we went over and helped Jack unload the trailer. Now, I think what we should do in the future, this is what I want to agitate for, in the future, what I want to do is I want to tell Jack to rent the trailer at noon. Rent the trailer at noon, then I could take a half day out of work and go and help load up the layout. And I probably wouldn't be able to go up to Springfield and help set it up because I don't stay in Springfield. But then we could go to breakfast on Monday and then go unload the layout in time for Jack to get the trailer back to U-Haul. Because it's 24 hours. You know, you pick it up at 12, you bring it back at 12. You pick it up at 9, you got to bring it back at 9. And that's what he did, and that's sort of where the headache was. So, you know, and this is, you know, ask not what your model railroad can do for you, ask what you can do for your model railroad. This is great. They do set up the layout at the show on Friday night. I just wouldn't be able to be there for that. I'd be there to load the layout into the U-Haul from the Providence Northern. Which, if you're doing it with one or two people, it can be really troublesome because you have to take the modules out of the boxes, put the modules aside, bring the boxes downstairs light, and then bring the modules downstairs one by one. And so that's like 8 trips up and down the stairs, and you have to set the modules aside, and et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, and if you can bring the modules up in the truck, if you're gonna bring the modules up, it makes a lot of sense to stay up at the show. But if you're gonna participate in the Yankee swap and everything, then you probably don't want to stay up at the show. You probably want to stay closer to home, because I would imagine it's about an hour and a half from Westerly to Springfield, or is it like probably more like an hour 45, right? I'd assume you can jump out, get on 395, and go up. Okay, this is what we were working on last time. 90 minutes. 90 minutes is about the same for me. Um, okay, yeah, this is what we were working on last time. We had this broken out into three like homesteads almost. Um, and the fact that this one is over to the side doesn't make a lot of sense, unless you consider that this was probably not the main house and that there would have been something else. This is going to be basically all woods, and so is this. Yeah, homestead. Um, save Seaboard Homestead. Let's do this. Oops. And this, and then we gotta grab the one with the one shoulder, the one sidewalk. Nope, not that direction, the other direction. Oh yeah, I was talking about binging TV shows earlier, and I did not like explain where that was going. Um, so I have been binging, quote unquote, uh, Star Trek Lower Decks, which is so good. It's so funny. It's undoubtedly my favorite Trek show at this point. Um, and I've never been the biggest Trekkie, but I mean, for those who have seen the old episodes of like the weekly timetable, you know I've got Kirk and Spock in the background. So yeah, they're still here, by the way. Kirk's over there and Spock's over there. Um, those are cardboard cutouts from Rocky Point, and I am so glad they're still here. So glad they're still around. I feel very lucky to own them. Um, okay. Oh right, I talked about putting a little like a general store or a little spur or something. Maybe actually, you know what would go back here really well? A lumber yard. Have I watched Trailer Park Boys? No, but I have watched some of Letterkenny, uh, which which feels like it should be a similar vibe, just Canadian. Um, I haven't watched Trailer Park Boys. It doesn't strike me as necessarily my jam, uh, but you know, I try anything once. Uh, smooth gunners. Oh, that's kind of the opposite of what I wanted to happen. Um, I've got too many things to watch, sadly. Like, I can't just go jumping on anything else. Yeah, let's delete this road. Let's, instead of that, we'll replace it with a dirt road. Um, on cinema at the cinema. Is that one of your podcasts? That one of the podcasts that you listen to, TJ? Um, I live in American Letterkenny. Just switch the hockey players for football players. Honestly, I just find that show so funny. Just like the lines are really snappy, the jokes are really great. That's what I like about that show. Um, it's a weird show that you didn't understand. It's that weird show you didn't understand. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess I didn't get it. Um, I don't remember it, but what was the context of me seeing that show? Oh, also, what is going on here? Okay, no. So this, and then this. Did we listen to an episode of Guys? I think we did. Yeah, we must have listened to at least one episode of Guys. I can't remember what we were doing. We were driving somewhere. But yeah, I like Lower Decks really does give me Orville vibes, and I love Orville. Orville is, Seth MacFarlane's love letter to Star Trek. Genuinely good show. Even if you're not a big fan of Family Guy, it's not Family Guy Star Trek. It is something that is greater than the sum of its parts. Um, weirdest and not usual episodes. The guest was nuts, so they barely talked about the normal stuff. Oh, really? That was like an unusual episode of Guys? I had no idea. I would have had no idea. I didn't dislike it. I'll be honest. It seemed like a perfectly fine podcast. I kind of enjoyed myself, even if I was a little bit lost or whatever. But I don't remember like anything from it, so I don't know. I was probably focused on driving. Unless was I driving? I assume I was driving. I'm usually the one driving. Let's bring this down. Oh, the nicotine guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now that you say that, I remember. Oh, you were driving, so that's why I had to listen to it. And so, I mean, I would be happy to. I would be happy to listen to it on a time where I'm not driving, or on a time where I am driving, rather. Um, okay, let's do that. I don't even remember like the circumstances of any of that. You know, all the trips to Maine are kind of like a blur. I just, I really, I need to go back. I need to go back to Maine. Um, I'm not trying to remove the vertex. I'm trying to do that. Wrong one. There we go. Thank you. Um, should I put this at like a little bit of an angle? Yeah, let's do that. So we could always use it. Everyone could use a good lumber yard. There we go. Don't ask me what that's supposed to mean, by the way. Okay. Yeah, this, and then it would honestly be kind of nice if... Well, this will be fine because we will put the building at one end of the loading area and then I'll add a platform at the other end. Or maybe I shouldn't have a platform at all because you'd have like a forklift. Yeah. I also want to flatten this out of the ground. Orville is what Star Trek should have been. I mean, depends on which Star Trek you mean, but it's definitely it's Star Trek with a little bit of a lighter heart, and I do appreciate all of that. Certainly, it came out in an era where there was not a lot of good Star Trek floating around. Like Disco, I've heard is mediocre. I never got the chance to watch it myself. I've heard season 2 is really good, but the rest of it is kind of meh. Um, and then, some of the other stuff that's come out since then has been, pretty highly praised in and out of the community, I can gather. Like I said, I've only really watched Lower Decks out of the new stuff. I really, really like Lower Decks, and I want more of it. Save Lower Decks. I'm like middle end of season 3 right now. And probably after that, I'm going to watch Strange New Worlds because I've heard that's really, really good. Other than that, I don't know. The issue is Gloria got Paramount, so now I have it all at my fingertips while I'm at work. And that's not good for anyone's productivity. Actually, it does kind of help my productivity because I put it on my third screen, which is where I usually have Discord and junk. And it covers all that, so I don't see if I'm getting messages, and then I don't think about it, and I just have, I have the drone to quiet the ADHD. Okay. So there's that. We'll put a lumberyard here. That'll do fine. Everywhere needs a good lumberyard. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to listen to more episodes of the Guys podcast with you, TJ, on another adventure to Maine or wherever. And I don't have a ton of podcasts anymore that I listen to religiously. It's kind of a shame. There is Bernie Burns' podcast, Morning Somewhere, which I feel like I should listen to, but I just can't be bothered. I listened to like 1 or 2 episodes and it was okay. Although the fact that he has reacquired Rooster Teeth is a very interesting development. I don't really know what's going to happen with that. I think it's cool. I don't know what else to think beyond that because it's just like, okay, well now what? RT was like we put it out to pasture. I guess I'm glad that someone who cares has the rights. I guess that at the end of the day is the important slash exciting part to me. The fact that of all the people to end up the with the Rooster Teeth properties, Bernie Burns is probably the best person to have it. You know, it was his company after all, in part. Um, okay, Fard guy, so that'll probably be a must listen. Uh, I don't. You know what? Sadly, I feel like I know exactly what that's going to be about. Like I know how that's going to go down. Okay, so I want to put a little. I'm just sort of filling in little details here, like stuff that we don't really have to think about too much more. And I've talked in the past about how one of the biggest things when you're working on Hello General Lee Gaiman. Also, you know me as Dragon Tamer. Hello, Dragon Tamer. Um, it's funny we have Dragon Tamer and the Flying Dragon. Um, so okay, yeah, I'm just sort of doing little bits back here. I think getting this triangle done will be interesting, but the problem is I have to figure out how to get the river. Oh, right. This isn't going to be. I might have to remove that building actually. This isn't going to be parking lot because this is going to be river or culvert, or maybe the culvert will just go under the parking lot. Um, I've dealt with similar. Dragon Tamer, was it you who was asking about? Um, was it you who was asking about interchange stations and where they would be and why they would be there? Because if so, this is the perfect opportunity for me to pop off about that. And this isn't something that's necessarily going to be relevant to what we're working on in Tolbrand, at least not really anytime soon. There will be another interchange station way up the way somewhere, but I can't tell you exactly where. Well, I can, based on the map, but I can't tell you when I'm going to be, doing anything with it. Um, let's give this much space for the lumberyard. Because either way, they're an interesting thing. Like, it's an interesting subject. Can you repeat it? Because I'm in a Discord call and someone talked. Well, I was just asking if you were the person who was asking about transfer stations. And where they might be, or why they might be, or where they might belong. Because it's an interesting subject. And we will have more transfer stations on this railroad sooner or later. We have one right now. Transfer between gauges. And this one, happens to be in the middle of a populous place. And usually, you will get them in populous places. It's not very common that you see. Oh, there must have been dragon then. I'm not sure. It's not very common that you see these kinds of things popping up in the absolute middle of nowhere. You'd usually have a small town around them because, at the very least, you're making a town. You're making a draw for people to be there by having a place where you have to change gauges. The reason why that's so important, the reason why it creates a draw, is because in order to change gauges, you need people. You need people to transfer cargo from one thing to the other, and it's why a break of gauge is such a tremendous pain in the behind. Uh, uh, and why they tended to be avoided at all costs, and why finding a dev team for making a video game is a pain in the arse. Yeah, no, I bet. Thinking. So you need people, so you get a town. You get a town out of it. Would they be in the middle of nowhere? They might start off as being in the middle of nowhere, because the reason you're going to have a break of gauge is more often, outside of, like, pre-Civil War, the reason you're going to have a break of gauge is because you have a standard gauge railroad or an X gauge railroad, and you want to build in a certain direction, but the best way to do it is with a Y gauge railroad, like a A smaller railroad, more usually, because you can get a small railroad into places where you can't get a large railroad, obviously. Um, I don't know of any situations, although I won't rule out the possibility, of a situation where you have a railroad that is smaller building a branch that is of larger gauge. Um, I would expect that that would usually happen in situations where the smaller gauge railroad is an unusual gauge and they're building a branch of the more typical gauge to reach something of that more typical gauge, where they don't expect to be doing much transloading, or where they want to have total authority over the transloading. The thing with that is railroads are generally not incentivized to have more than one gauge under their cap, because then you have to roster two kinds of locomotives and two kinds of freight cars and two kinds of passenger cars. You're doubling up on everything, and that's not something that you really want. That's going to cut into your operating costs a lot, because you're going to have non-standard parts pretty much by default. You're going to have very different operations that crew will have to be probably specifically cross-trained, or you'll have to have two different crews. Um, these are all things that just sort of come up off the top of my head. Uh, I'm sure someone who is a scholar on the DNRGW would be able to tell more about this, because they're probably the largest multi-gauge railroad in the United States, or they were at a given point. Um, the CNS is probably up there, but the DNRGW, I would assume, had the lion's share, or at least like the plurality of narrow gauge track, and they were also a very large standard gauge railroad. Maybe not very large, but large. Wasn't the Farmington branch on the DNRGW originally standard gauge, branching off the San Juan line? That does sound right. The Plated Tomorrow is Merger Mania 1.0, new version. I'm gonna be putting the maps out soon, so keep an eye on the Google Drive. That does sound right, and I think that's because the intention was, let's see, the Farmington branch, which went from that's the one that went south to Santa Fe, right? I'm not a Rio Grande scholar. Isoland standard gauge branch off an narrow gauge line, and that was because they wanted to re-gauge. Hello, Heartless Hunter. That was because they wanted to re-gauge everything, or at least everything in the vicinity, to make it a contiguous standard gauge system, and then they just sort of didn't get to it, because that's expensive also. So there's a lot of things that go on. Let me see. I don't want that. I want this color. Yes, I want this color. There's a lot of moving parts, and yeah, it's a very unusual situation. It's one that you're gonna try to avoid. So much to be. The man is nothing if not a Rio Grande evangelist, and I appreciate him for that. I learned all I know about the Rio Grande mostly from Weibold. So, same boat, same group of people. They were green, just in case anyone was curious, confused. They were green. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, I wanna get this all in here. I'm sort of barreling off in this direction. When I know I need to figure out the water situation and terrain here. I really, really need to do that. So I think I'm going to just make a quick pass with a terrain track. Oh wait, that's not what we use for terrain tracks. Who remembers good old 4M standard bump? And this is going to be, pretty straight, because it would have been through like an area in between fields. Although we can come out at some point. We can say there was like a landslide or something, or a landslip if you're one of the people who says that, which weird. And we'll have the river go upgrade pretty slowly at a steady pace. So this is 72, 76. This is 7504. So that's got to be very slow. Yeah, TVA flashbacks. Yeah. Like this is the ancient track. This is the old track. Let's see. I want it to be, let's just say like 2 meters down. So 72. Let's go to 70.5. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's not bad. We should actually go deeper than that. And then let's do that, and then let's check the way this looks. Okay, yeah, we're getting somewhere. We're going to have to do a bunch of this. Tonnage first, safety last. You're damn right. We're going to have to do a bunch of this. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to put in a 0.05... Let's do a 0.1% grade and see what that ends up looking like. If it ever comes up above ground, then we know that we've screwed up. Or an 0.1%, not a 0.01%. Which is not going to be much. And how far down are we? Ooh, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. Average Penn Central mainline, yeah. So let's do this. Let's carve out this ditch. And then we will do some plateau tooling and sculpting and molding to get this the way that we want it to be. Something else we should do, because this is going to be done with a river spline, so I should put the spline in now and lock it into place, and then we can go up or down based on what we need. So let me clear out the terrain tracks. Probably should have done this with the river spline instead of, you know, the other way around. Instead of doing tracks first, but the track dives into the ground to return to Sodor. Yeah, honestly, that's has anyone ever questioned that? I mean, there's a lot of things to question in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. I love it nevertheless. But, like... This is not a river spline. Where's my river spline? It's over here somewhere. Snow. Love me some snow. We're supposed to get 6 inches of snow on Sunday, or whatever. Right? Like, I saw a thing pop up at the corner of my screen that was like, you're gonna get more snow. And I am so glad. Because this snowstorm that was supposed to happen today sucked. It sucked. It was lame. It was boring. I was not happy. Okay, so we did this one with a thingy. I'll do this one with a river spline, just because. The snow day because of snow? I'm jealous. I don't get snow days. I'm an adult. It's boring. It sucks. Don't get old. I mean, every day is a snow day because I work from home, though, so I don't really know what I'm complaining about. Lady was conscious for that and helped out the blue boy with her little engine god powers. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not here to unpack it. I kind of would love to see the like original cut or whatever it was, the thing that supposedly fixes all the problems and makes Thomas and the Magic Railroad what it was originally supposed to be. I'm like vaguely aware of such a thing. I just don't know the first thing about it. All right, we're gonna have lots of Z fighting and we're gonna fix it. Don't worry. Don't look too closely if you have, you know, like problems with flashing lights. So let's go big radius, relatively big radius, and then let's lower the ground so that we show the river, and then yeah, we're gonna need to fix all of that. That looks so bad. Okay, yeah, this is not what this river is gonna look like. I just need to get it down underneath where the I need to get down underneath where this is. Hello, Yankee. Diesel 10 actually sounded threatening. I mean, Diesel 10 sounded very threatening to 10-year-old me. I'm not gonna lie. Which I don't actually know how old I was when that movie came out, but you know, little Ellis was terrified by Diesel 10. I mean, you know. And you can't excuse everything by it's a kid's movie. Obviously, that movie's got problems. Like, you can make a kid's movie and also make it a good movie. For example, my favorite movie, Up. kids movie, Pixar movie, absolutely emotionally devastating. Um, and there are parts of the soundtrack which I purchased. There are parts of the soundtrack that make me cry. So you know what? You know, using it's a kids movie as an excuse to defend a bad movie does not take you very far, and it shouldn't. Um, that said, it is a kids movie, and some of the things did work for me as a kid. Now these days, I don't know if I could bear to watch it. I don't know when the last time I watched it was a long, long time ago. D10 with a New York, Boston, Philly accent, Beagle, brash, and what's it to you? Honestly, is the best portrayal in my opinion. Um, Someone made a whole creepy weird story about the engine being taken to this weird hell-like area by Lady. Excuse me? Oh God, Lady, no, what are you doing? I also just want to say, like, regarding Lady, right? Um, it's one of these things where I don't know how I felt about Lady as a kid, but definitely there was a point growing up where I was just like, wait a minute. She's called Lady, and she's the only lady. Like, where all the women at? Where the girls? In the island of Sodor. Why does the whole island of Sodor get no bitches? Like none. And I know that there are examples of female characters, or feminine characters, I guess, because they're Trainz, they don't have parts. At least, I hope not. In the the Thomas and the whatever, the Thomas, like, world, but, not many. Not many. It's a real sausage party on the island of Sodor. And I think that's a problem. Like, is it, like, I don't know. Is there a lore reason that, like, most of the Trainz are dudes? I mean, it's the hobby, right? But still. Lily and Stacy Jones. Oh no, not another one. Uh, uh, don't go there. It gets weird. Yeah, I bet. I bet it gets real weird. I'm gonna be honest. I'm I'm uttering these things out loud, and I'm not thinking too hard about them, because I bet it gets real weird. Have I seen Dejara 521? No, I haven't. Should I? Do I want to? There's lots of weird stuff out there. The train community is full of really strange people, and I know I'm one of them. But, like, buy trading cards. Don't, like, read. I'm not, like, out here making weird fan fiction. Not anymore, anyway. And not about Thomas the Tank Engine. Not Thomas stuff, SP and UP type stuff. Who here knows what 311 is? Ooh, I got to guest write an episode of 311 that never came out. A crossover that never came out. Like, I kind of wish we had done that. Writing with Ryan Laubner. Writing with 2026 Productions there. Is that man is an incredible writer. In terms of jokes per minute, in terms of never being tethered to anything at all, like, that show has got to be off the rails at his direction. You got nightmares from 311, damn. I got nightmares from the episode of Thomas and Friends with the Dam. With Toby and the Dam. I was terrified. That episode scared the crap out of me as a kid. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Yankee. Toby and the Dam, and I bet I still have the VHS of it somewhere. JR520 made a bunch of Crazy Trainz videos, and they're top notch for something being over a decade and a half old. Oh man, it's crazy to think. It's crazy to think that what would it have been? Was it like the Horseman Chronicles is almost 10 years old now, isn't it? Like, like seriously, that's insane to think about. That's insane to think about. That's like a lot of things don't bother me. Like, oh yeah, like I'm in my 6th or 7th year of being an adult, like having graduated from college. I've lived in this house for 6 years now. Um, like that doesn't bother me. The fact that it's been 10 years, it will be 10 years since I was at the Train Mountain Triennial and thinking about the very first episode of the Iron Horseman Chronicles, being at the Train Mountain Triennial and talking about like, oh, we're gonna make, it's gonna be called On Stranger Ties, um, right? Like, cause it came out in yeah, yeah. I have that arrow right. Oh my god, that's crazy. That's bonkers. That's bonkers. I can't deal with that. And it's a shame that we never got to like take that show to its full potential, but I'm not unhappy with it. I'm not unhappy with it. Uh, I'm glad that we got to tell the stories that we got to tell. I'm glad we made the community we did and the legacy we did, and I'm glad that it endures as something that people are generally happy with. Like, I might cringe a little if I look back at some of the old videos, or God, watch the old episodes, which nope, you're not gonna catch me doing that. Uh, but like, people liked that show. People still like that show. People rewatch it. Like, I I'm really glad. I'm really, really, really glad about that. I'm glad I could make an impression like that in the world. And the fact that, you know, I'm not proud of the editing, I'm not proud of the voice acting necessarily. Some of it's pretty good. But it's definitely not all universally good, and it's not cut together super well. Um, the route building in places is not very good. Um, and it's all decent across the board. Like, there's nothing that sticks out as being really bad. I'm just not much of an editor, so I didn't do anything fun. Uh, but the fact that what people talk about is the scripts. The Iron Horseman Chronicles was another Trainz machinima series in the vein of 311 and shoot, what's the famous one? Full Buccaneers and friggin' other like things that I never got around to watching because I don't really watch Trainz machinima, and yet I show ran one. It was a huge amount of work. When 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 the man who would go on to create 311 said to me, "I think I want to create my own Trainz series. What do you think?" I said, "Don't." I said, "Don't." And I I don't regret saying that, but I'm really glad he didn't listen to me. I'm really glad he didn't listen to me. Uh, anyway. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing this river. I know we're like a tiny fraction of the way down, but uh I'm having fun here. I'm enjoying this. This is meditative Trainz route building. Doing the little sculpting outside of the river. That's meditative. I like that. Um Not fully in the vein of 311 and Rails of Highland Valley. Yeah, I know. Well, I don't really want to stratify them that much. There's ones that are qualitatively better than others. There's ones that they've got people associated with them that are like end up being persona non grata in the incredibly hostile for no reason Trainz community. Which, if you're hearing this message, please stop. Please try to make the Trainz community a better and nicer and more chill place. Respect people. Like, be kind to people. Let people move past the dumb stuff they said in the past. Uh, and just take people as they are. Because goddamn. Which Trainz is this route being made on? This is in 2022. Actually, technically, I guess it's like Trainz Plus, but it's 2022. That said, it's pretty damn similar to 2019, as we talked about earlier. There's not a lot different, except it is just slightly better in just about every aspect, especially performance. Anyway, uh, the yeah, so the Iron Horse of Chronicles was a lot of fun. And what I was trying to get at was, it might not have the best editing around, it might not have the best voice acting around. People don't talk about it for that stuff. People talk about it for the writing. And that's what I'm really, really, really proud of. Like, the fact that you could post in the server if you want. Yeah, you can if you want. Throw it in media or something. Or fake model rating or whatever. Whatever is appropriate. Maybe I'll take a look at it. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I need to watch on a daily basis, and I've been just binging Lower Decks instead. Like I never have been good at keeping up with all the goings on online on the internet, and like all the stuff that gets uploaded. Like I don't really follow Mark's content, even though he's a great dude, and I really am excited for Century of Steam, and I love doing stuff with him. But like the band puts out a lot of stuff. And I don't have that much time. I've got other things I need to watch. If I want to know how Mark's doing, I'll go ask him. And I know that like most of my close friends don't sit down and watch Under Construction either, which I get that. I'm just here talking to a camera for 3 hours. Bold of you to see my reaches outside of the foam pit. Oh, sorry, I didn't know. I apologize. You can put it in the foam pit. I mean, you can fix that, though. Let's do this. Okay. If you called out. Why? Because you're one of, you're here watching it. Why do you feel called out? You should feel the opposite of called out. Because I've been here for 2 years. Oh my god, yeah, I mean, the time flies. What was I just saying about the whole, this is going to be really annoying. This is going to be really, really annoying. Oh, I'm going to have to do skew stuff. I'm not excited for that. We're going to have to spend like a... I like the watch party. Why do you feel called out? I'm saying I wouldn't begrudge you if you weren't doing the watch party. You don't need to do the watch party to curry favor with me. If you want to watch the stream, you can watch the stream. I'm not, like, gonna be unhappy that you're here. Okay. This has got to go into a culvert. This has got to go... Yeah, okay. Alright. This looks like garbage. We need to do more work over here. But I'm going to have to do more terrain manipulation to get the river into shape, so... to get the bridges in. There we go! We did terrain for a river. Hooray. It's been a while since I've done terrain. This is honestly... It's therapeutic. I miss it. It's been a while. Okay, so we're going to need a culvert entrance of some description over here. Should I just use, like, one of these? Also, we've made it to the halfway point. We've made it to the halfway point, and I haven't given up to go eat, and I still have, like, half my soda left. So, maybe we're going to make it. Maybe we're going to make it. I can't promise anything, because I'm really damn hungry. But, let's put this... That's the wrong side. Where's the front? There it is. Let's do this. That doesn't work. Damn. What if I scoot this down this way and raise it back up like this? I want to play more Railroader. I want to mess around in my modded save more. I want to get more stuff done there. We're gonna need a retaining wall over here. So retaining wall, dark stone, blah blah blah. This is not very dark. It's also... Alright, hold on. I mean, that grass is not really that far off to the grass that we've been using, which I guess is a good thing. So I need to find out if my wife is coming home on their own, or if Okay, thank you for posting that. I will try to remember to take a look at it. Um, I need to find out if my wife's coming home or if I have to go pick them up. Because if I have to go pick them up, then I don't know if I feel like cooking anything for myself. Um, okay. This isn't too bad. Not too bad at all. Uh, no, I'm not married yet. But I've been calling them my wife for longer than we've been engaged. It's just force of habit at this point. It's force of habit so bad that I think when we're actually married, it's gonna feel weird. I'm not gonna be able to say my wife anymore. Like, I don't know if I can say it if it's correct. I, I don't know. Okay, let's go. No, no, no. How are we gonna block this off? We need some other kind of wall. That might have to do. Come to the wedding and drop a T1 in the gift pile. I do intend, and this is something I've been saying since day one. Of course, I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to accomplish it, but I do intend to stream the wedding, so that anyone that can't make it, or we couldn't fit because it's going to be a relatively small venue, um, as far as the amount of people we would like to invite goes, can watch the ceremony. I think that's gonna be fun. I think that's like solidifying the goofiness of me as someone who wants to always put myself out there. Should be on like Big Brother or something. All right, there we go. Ellis Bachman Alco S2s with sound. Yeah, yeah, they'll go right on the modular. Um, okay, okay. Um, Strap a GoPro to the top of my head for the wedding. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna be POV. You are getting married. Hopefully, come to the Providence Northern. When are you planning to do that? I will try to arrange it so that I can be there. Like I was saying earlier, I usually don't get myself over there on a Saturday unless I know someone is coming that I sort of want to see, uh, or is coming sort of to see me. But one of those things happens more than the other. Um, okay, scoot this out like that. I'll come to see you. Well, that's good. Um, okay. I see how it is. Yeah, well, listen. My Saturdays are precious, alright? You know what I have to do this Saturday? Aside from make a podcast, maybe? Uh, is I have to split wood. I am running out of... Casey from the server gave me a whole bunch of wood that may or may not have come from the DL. Um, and I'm running out now. Like, not running out, I still have a bit left. But I've got a humongous tree that fell down in the backyard, and I've got a chainsaw with a brand new chain on it, and I've got a um, a splitter that is now mine. So I'm gonna split some wood. I need to chop up some wood for my stove. And then Sunday, I'm probably going to hang out here and do nothing because apparently we're supposed to get half a foot of snow and also the Super Bowl. And I'm going to spend it with my dad, which is to say that he has to get some sort of procedure and is going to be in isolation and therefore uh, is is going to be watching the Super Bowl on his own, which is sad. And I want to be there. Like I was going to be with him for the Super Bowl, and then he's got to get this treatment, so he has to be isolated. And I'm going to be isolated in solidarity. Um, it's not a big thing. It's not like it's a treatment. It's a standard treatment. Um, this sucks. Um, wood splitting fans when wood merging fans walked in. No, that's not what Merger Mania is about. I don't know what you've heard. Um, I'm gonna have to make a bendy bridge here, and I don't know what to do with it. This is gonna be. Oh wait, this should have been double track once upon a time. Ah, fudge. Um. Shoot. Um. The brick steel bridge is really dumb. I don't like it. These are I have so many ancient bridges, so many ancient bridges. What is this one though? This is not a two-track bridge, but it looks pretty damn cool. Can I put a bend in it? Yeah, kind of. If I can put two of these side by each, I'll do that. Oh shoot, what did I just do? Oh wait, I can delete the track. I can delete the track from the bridge because of the way that Surveyor 2 works. Although I need like a skewed abutment. Now this is not gonna work. Never mind. Can that? This the way the abutment shaped is, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So let's fix this. Yeah, what I said about doing more terraforming, yeah, we're gonna have to do more terraforming. Or terraining, or whatever you want to call it. This is a great spot to rail fan, though. Think about it, you got this, like, strip of park here, and you sit and you watch the trains go by over the bridge. That's great. Okay, let's do this. Let's increase the radius a little bit. We're also probably going to want to increase the sensitivity a little bit. I just don't really want to do a skew abutment if I can help it, because that's annoying, and it's not fun. Okay. Yeah, and my computer gets real angry when I do this. Oh, shoot. You know what? Let's bring the river down to here. Can you stop hiding the river when I'm trying to do this? Thanks, Trainz. I'm so hungry, bros. I'm so hungry, comrades. Alright, let's do this. And then, yeah, we'll do that bridge later because that's going to be way, way more annoying. I do really like this bridge that I just found. I do like this bridge. This is also a nice bridge, but we're not going to get... That's only going to be a straight line. We need a girder bridge. We need something that we can bend. And this is probably it. At least it's something that would acceptably be it. Because we're going to need bridge track. Let me put in the spline point. We're going to need bridge track. We're going to need to... Can you, for Pete's sake, let me do what I need to do? Oh my god, I swear, I'm clicking on the buttons. It's not working. Yeah, what we need to do is we need to line this up with this. Like that. Yep. We need to full-on delete the track that's on top of the bridge. No, I can't? No, usually it lets me do that. Wait, maybe I'll just switch it with invisible track then. Because when I clicked on it, it set the... edit details? No, that's worthless. Get out of here. Back to Surveyor Classic. But look at that. We can get it bent enough that it's going to be fine. But when we finally get Ellis to one of our business meetings, let's get him to talk about Batch 6. I could use a break, too. From this video? I keep dropping my dang phone. Ooh, that's a new dent. My phone really likes to fall out of my pocket when I'm wearing these pants. Hello from work. Slow day. I started my nickel plate collection. Cool. What's in it so far? Alright, back to this. We're also going to have to get it to be the right height, because this track is not only not straight, it is also not level. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we're going to need the spline points because we're going to need to make this bridge track. Or, because we have sort of the bridge track underneath, what we probably should do is replace the track with like a rails only or a rails and ties spline. Yeah. Alright, let's put that there. Let's put... Come to one of our business meetings. Joke meetings, don't be Mew and show up 20 minutes late. Well, I mean, Mew's coming from far, far away. So, you know. Every meeting needs a Jack Romano, okay? And I love Jack, but that man's not on time for anything. Okay. We're going to need to use lots of spline points to get this right. Or at least kind of right. At least sort of looking okay. Yeah, this is fine. Pensy E6, wow. Okay. Okay, let's find a bridge track spline. That's 3'6" bridge track. I'll run track bridge. Wait a minute, I should definitely have some bridge track around here somewhere. But this is probably acceptable. Replace spline with selected asset. Oh, there is a track there on the bridge. That's not... I feel bamboozled. I feel like I swear I just saw it without that. Hold on. Nope. Nope. What? Oh! No. No, that's not it either. Get out of here for a second. Aha! Goodbye. No! Oh, shit. Yay! Yay! Okay, let's scoot this back over here. Oh, shoot, I moved both ends. Oops. What George Carlin called the meanest guy to ever arrive on Amtrak. Hey, Ryan! We were just talking about you. Well, we were talking about your writing and how much I adore it. But I'm glad to see you. Okay, let's scoot this over here. Your Honor, whoopsie daisy. Yeah. Hold on. I think I need to raise this slightly. Do I need to raise this slightly? Oh, shoot. Double shoot. Can I... Let me grab the bridge. Thank you. Oh my god. Okay. This has been an exercise in futility, making this bridge. We need to make the bridge, and we need to put a second bridge next to the bridge, and then we need to sort of move on with our lives because we're spending too much time on one bridge. Can I get this over here? Can I get this far enough back that Can I get this far enough back that the abutment is actually flush? Like, please? No. No, not even close. Alright, whatever. I give up. Let's move it back over here. No, wait. No, wait. Wait. We can make the terrain work for this. We can make the terrain work. Return to the... Oh, wait. No, wait. You're kidding. He didn't just say what I think he said, did he? Okay, let's scoot that over there. At what rate do we just have the remains of another bridge and just say our other bridge was embargoed for being made of asbestos? You know what, Ryan? I'm way ahead of you because we're gonna have the remains of a second bridge next to this bridge. We are in fact building another bridge next to this one because this would have originally planned to be double track and that just sort of never happened. Although let's see if I can move this spline point around. Ow, my hip. Let's see if we can move this spline point around. Let's see if we can remove the gradient and then put this spline point over here, maybe? Will that help? I want this to be back in the middle where it started. No. No. Remains of a turntable used as a bridge deck. Get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, see you, Ryan. Double track, but once they got to the second bridge, the funds dried up. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you, and I feel like I will probably do that later on because I don't feel like doing a bunch of bridges that look like this. But we have a bunch of bridges that look like this. This attempt at double track is going to continue all the way through here. Through here, and then here they will have torn it up out of the road, but we still are going to have the second bridge next to it. And... Or, you know what? Let's see how difficult it is. Let's see how difficult it is for me to get this second thing. Please check the railroader thread. Okay, hold on. Fine, I will. The T1, more mods and railroader. F40 and railroader? Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I'm not doing anything for the future Iron Horseman railroader, you know, pack, right? I'm not doing anything that's out of era, but if I was, that would be my first download. Oh shoot, wrong button. Control click. No, why are you not copying? Wait, what's going on? Oh, come on, the bridge, the bridge! We just need the line of rusted equipment that's a part of some museum, yeah. Listen, they're trying, okay? I'm trying to avoid doing much of the, like, museum stuff sitting around, like, useless stuff sitting around. I'm trying to avoid doing that in this map. I just don't love the idea of having engines and cars that are just sort of chilling, you know? But, I mean, we might have some stuff when we get closer to Gilson City. Like, maybe there would be a suburb that has a proper museum. I'm not diametrically opposed to the idea. I just don't love it. Just because of the way Trainz works, you know? Like, if you put something there, people are going to see it, and they'll be able to click on it and put an engineer on it and be able to try to drive it back and forth on their little stretch track. I'm trying to make everything here impactful, which is ironic considering how much suburb I'm building. But, you know. That's true, the time-traveling F40 is a canon event. Okay. What about a string of hoppers integrated in a retaining wall? That's a lot better. Well, see, the thing is, I can do that way more easily because I have hopper objects. I think I even left some over here. Yeah. So we can grab a whole bunch of these and stick them in a wall, and then you have exactly what you're talking about. Um, that way I won't have to use a piece of invisible track with a bunch of hoppers on it, or multiple pieces of invisible track with multiple hoppers on it. You know. Okay. Impactful or idiot proof. Yeah, I mean that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I guess I want everything that's functional to be functional for a reason. Um, we need cars full of 5 handbags to access balance. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is gonna be me waxing about game design for a second, and especially mod pack design, because this is something I've run across when trying to put together the Iron Horseman mod pack, the Iron Horseman official mod pack for Railroader. Which if anybody wants the mod list right now, I can send it to them. I have it. It's not totally up to date though, so I would have to do that after I finish this. And I might have some other stuff on the horizon because I just got a message from somebody who's doing one of the doing one of the special order trading cards. We need 5. Yeah, if you know, you know. Chekhov's Trainz, right? Yeah, it's both. This route will be both finished and unfinished at all times. Oh, so we got the terrain in here, which means we can do this. Although, no, wait, I still need to do this. What? What do I do with this? What do I do here? What do I do here? Because uh, I'm not putting a drawbridge. Okay. Um, abutment. Hold on. Abutment. You know what? I can use a skew bridge here. Okay. Abutment 1 track. This sucks. This sucks. Okay. Um. That's not helpful either. What about this? No. All right, we're gonna have to do this the hard way then. Whoa, what is this? Well, that's interesting. Those are always interesting. Uh, we need the draw boat, bridge boat, BART. Yeah, the draw boat. I love that thing. Um, where did I do something like this before? Up here, along the railroad, I did something like this over here. Okay. Um, okay, so we're going to need retaining walls. We're going to need stuff like this. So give me this. Actually, I need to put this down over there, but what I also need is bridge stuff. I need, like, the deck for the bridge, because that's going to be important, too. Rail served 7-Eleven. It takes tank car full of slushy. But yeah, I started building this, a mod pack for... Ryan, did you write that before I said that? Because goddamn if we're not on the same wavelength right now. Um, uh, so maybe it's just the fact that 7-Eleven and slushies kind of go hand in hand. But anyway, started making this mod pack. I really want to talk about the game design thing that I wanted to talk about, and I keep getting distracted because I just cannot focus on like the things I want to say when there's anything else. No. So I started making this mod pack, and I ran into something that I often run into with mod packs, and of course often run into in game design with what little of that I do, which is I don't want to play with house rules. And that's maybe a controversial subject if anyone here has ever played Monopoly, but I don't want to play with house rules. Um, a game is set up and balanced in a certain way, and when you add mods to it, you disrupt that balance. Of course. So sometimes you have to limit yourself. If you're playing on your own, sometimes you have to limit yourself. However, if you're playing with other people, getting everyone on the same page about what you can and can't do. Even in a game like Railroader, where you can consolidate all the power to one person and they can make decisions for the save file, uh, it it can lead to problems. It means you have to explain that every time you go to buy something. Like, for example, right, and I won't beat around the bush, this is what I'm getting at. If you have a Railroader save with a bunch of mods installed, but you don't want to use some of them for whatever reason. Let's say you have the tender swaps mod, but you don't want to buy certain tenders that are too large. You know, you have to stick with the small ones. Or you have the customization mod and it came with tender swaps, but you don't want to use the tender swaps. That's a good example there. In Minecraft mods, you could talk about how, you know, there might be some overpowered stuff in a certain mod that you just have in for one thing or another, but you don't really want people to use those things, so you have to try to get everyone on the same page. You have to say, like, hey, this is what we're doing, these are the mods we have, don't do X, Y, and Z. I don't like that. I don't like trying to explain and enforce that. It's something that I've dealt with too many times. Not that specific scenario, but scenarios like it. You don't want to have to sit around and police the people that you're supposed to be just hanging out and playing a game with. To that end, you want everything you do to be backed up and enforced, and to that end, you want all your rules, right, and all of the things you can do, because this is video games we're talking about, not board games. If you can do something, I want you to be allowed to do it. OpenTTD is a great example, and I don't know why it didn't come to me immediately. There are some things, when you pile a bunch of mods together, you're going to get stuff that's OP. You're going to get stuff that's broken. Because those mods were never designed to be together, or they were never just really balanced that well. And that's something that, when it comes to modding, that's kind of fine and kind of part of the deal. Like, you get mods because people want to be the change they wish to see in the world, not because they are perfect game developers and they know how everything's going to shake out. This is a very, very normal situation. Yeah, no, you cannot trap Josh on the pier and steal Cole's cap card. Like, can I grab this spline, please? Thank you. And so when it comes to putting together a mod pack, I've been trying to avoid anything that I would have to negotiate. Anything that I would have to temper. Anything that I would have to say, no, listen, don't do this. Like I know that you see that we have that mod, but just, like, don't. Just leave it. Leave it be. We're technically not playing with that. It's just in because I need it because it's a dependency for this, that, and the other thing. So the place that I ran across this in the Railroader mods, and thankfully I didn't have to actually do anything about it because the mods weren't actually dependent on one another, like I was initially concerned about, is the aux tender. The aux tender mod. I find the fact that we have an aux tender really, really cool. I find the fact that the first one that was created is the giant UP one insane and ridiculous. I don't want to play with that one. I want to play with the little ones that are just like a tank car with a headlight on it. That I'm cool with. Those are nice. But if I had to download one to get the other, then I wouldn't be getting it. The other place that I ran into this is with the RS3. The RS3 requires the GP38, I think, if I remember right. I don't want the GP38. I don't want to have to tell people, I know you see a GP38 in that list, but we can't buy it. I want to say, yeah, let's look at the list of locomotives and see what we want, you know? And I wanted the RS3, I wanted the Alcos, but I didn't want the GP38. So we're living without that. And it you know, modders, like, modding is difficult. Sometimes you stand on the backs of giants, right? Sometimes you grab a mod that has a dependency that you need, and then you use that mod, and then you make it a dependency. And, like, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But if I'm making a pack, I want to put it out there without caveats. I want to put it out there and say, like, here's the pack, go for it. Go nuts. You know? So, yeah. And that's similar to OpenTTD. OpenTTD is a really good example that, again, I'm not sure why I didn't think about it immediately. Just OpenTTD, I guess, hasn't been on the brain lately. There's lots of mods that are not super compatible with one another, or are, and at the same time cause problems. Like, the most glaring one is the SP pack, because it has the coaches that help with the passenger, like, decay, and when's the lunch break? The lunch break is when I am, like, when I am fed up with this and I have to go get lunch. Again, I do not know if I'm picking up Gloria or not. If I am, then I might wait. You know, I might just get food with them on the way back from their friend's house. I don't know why that's escaping me. Was escaping me for a minute. Because that's like the rite of passage. We go over there, and that's like where one of the only Sonics in the state is, so we get Sonic. It's like a tradition at this point. But I'm really hungry, and I don't think I want to wait for that. And also, I don't really want to pay for it. So it's a question of, do you know, am I waiting? But I know if I ask, right? If I say, like, hey, can you want me to pick you up? The answer is going to be yes, so I'm going to get roped into that. So I'm not going to say anything. No, the buffalo chicken bites are not back, and I've never had my heart broken like this. But also, I don't know if I can do more cheese today. I don't know if I can do more cheese. I'm suffering. I had too much cheese in the last couple of days. I never thought I would say that. I had like a whole family-sized bag of Smart Food. I'm not proud of myself. I'm not proud of it. And I regret my decisions. Make a round meal. I mean, yeah, but that's mac and cheese. Okay, anyway. What is Smart Food? You don't know what Smart Food is? Oh, you're one of today's lucky 10,000. It's white cheese dust covered popcorn. And I do not like popcorn. Smart Food is fantastic. I'm also a sucker for white cheddar. I said white cheese. I meant white cheddar. I'm a sucker for white cheddar. This is going to be like a really ad hoc kind of bridge. Dance in Smarty Pants. You know, it causes problems in... What is this? That's way too fancy of a bridge. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I have something for this. Where's my search filter? Bridge. Listen, if you're too... if you're gonna make taco meat? Ooh, that sounds good. If you're gonna... Oh, shoot, that's a dope bridge. This is 8 tracks, holy Jesus. Holy crap, look at that bridge. Okay, this is the one... Okay, we got the 2-track version, and I hope this is the 4-track version. This is a somewhat busted version. Yeah, I have something for this, which is to say I have a bunch of... Not that. I have a bunch of skew bridges. That I don't know where they are. They're in here somewhere. Ooh, look at that. Look at this. Holy crap, we gotta use this. What is this? Oh, it's Coombridge. Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting. If I can... I know you're loading the asset. Give me a second. Holy crap, that's enormous. I do like that bridge, though. I just want, like, a little truss. I want a little truss over here, is what I want. And if I can find one that's a little skew truss, then that would be great. Not the Laurel Line bridges, though. Those are too big. Oh, I'm just realizing I probably could have used that over here. Well, no, I couldn't. Never mind. North Adams Railroad Bridge. Oh, hey, we got skews. Those are all double track. That's not helpful. Pontoon bridge. Guess what this is? It's a draw boat. It's not the draw boat, but it is a draw boat. Yeah, we're on a Cincinnati. Oh, hey, here's the. Oh wait, that's not the bridge I was thinking it was. That is a great bridge, though. Double E. I've downloaded so many drawbridges. Is the thing. I downloaded a buttload of drawbridges when I was on a drawbridge kick. So like. Oh, there's a bridge. Oh wait, I used that one, and also it's not a skew bridge. And it's a nice bridge, but I definitely do not need it. Let's put it back and let's just see how it fits. Let's see how it fits. No, it's way too long. And it's also, oh no, I'm gonna need a spline. I'm gonna need a spline, because this is on a slope. Oh no. Alright, so all this was for nothing. This is the skew bridge. I found it. I finally found it. Truss bridge with pipes. It's skewed in the wrong... No, it's not skewed in the wrong direction. It's also way too big. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this bridge. Okay, never mind. Back to tracks. Plate girder bridge. I want a little truss. How about you? Pin connected truss bridge. Really cute. I don't know if I should do this one, because it would need a pillar right in the middle. Well, I could pull the edges out to abutments, and I don't want a girder bridge because it's too close to the... Wait a minute. Let's just do this. Oh, wait, that's an NG2 bridge. Maybe I don't need a truss. Maybe I just need, like, a regular piled bridge, like a really, really cheap one that you'd use for industries. Nope, not test. Not trestle. This is an ancient bridge. This is an ancient bridge. Look at this. Look at this. This is like 3 polygons. Also, this was my favorite bridge once upon a time. Is it this one? It is this one. Yeah, that was my favorite bridge. Alright, we'll use this. Yeah, it's fine. I wanted to put a truss, but honestly, it's not worth it. This would be used so little that they probably would not have bothered to spend the money. So, you know, this can go right here. How much you want to bet, like, you know how we're doing, you know how we have the Iron Horse and radio? You know how we have the Iron Horse and radio, and it just sort of plays from that playlist all day long. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It plays from the Iron Horse and radio playlist on YouTube. And that is one of my favorite things about the Discord server. It's something that I wanted to do since before we had a Discord server. And, like, when I was originally building the server, I sort of realized, oh my god, there's finally, like, a way that I can do this. And that was when YouTube music bots were all the rage. And now they're all gone, so I sort of made my own-ish. I could do other things with that. I could throw OBS on that computer and do what I did for Hundreds of Beavers, which, great playdate, by the way, great movie. Go watch Hundreds of Beavers. And I could, like, make a TV station, like a bootleg TV station. How quickly do you think we would get a cease and desist out of that? Is what I'm asking. Like, you know, we're not a big enough server for people to care, right? 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 Um, we're gonna have to scoot this track over to the left. Um, you know what? Can we actually move the bridgehead over to the left? Okay. Hi, I'm Ryan, and you're watching the Iron Horseman channel. If we could get stingers that we could throw into the... You know what? Oh my god. Ryan, you know what we need? We need little, like, we need like 5 videos in the Iron Horseman radio playlist that do that. That are just like, you know, our own little proprietary things that we throw in there. Uh, we could have like a trading card advertisement or something. Or just like the you're listening to, the Iron Horseman radio. Um, oh, we could totally do that. That'd be fun. Okay. This, every 10 minutes for station. Well, see, the problem is it shuffles, so that would be a problem. Okay. It's 10 past 9. We've made some really good progress. I'm not sure if I can go on. We will see. I mean, we're doing good. We've made, like I said, good progress. You should get one of these trading cards. You can buy them on the ironhorseman.com. We've got so much to do on this map. I mean, we have an eternal amount of stuff to do on this map. It's never ending. That's the point. And I don't want anyone to ever like lament the fact that this is a never-ending project. But it is a never-ending project. Just don't lament that fact. Okay. Last time, what we were doing was this. And I was marking off the edge here, right? Because we're on the edge of glory. Actually, I could pull this. So where's the corner of the tile? It's right up here. It's up here. It's up here, and we pulled the track down so that we didn't go over this line, so that we didn't have to make this tile. We didn't have to do this tile. But I could stretch this out a little bit more now. Oh shoot, we've got an angry spline point. What's wrong with you? If I scoot that up, will it work? Yay! Okay, that fixed it. Yeah. I'm really happy with this engine terminal, I'll be honest. I really like it a lot. I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot. My dilemma right now is do I reorient these to be like next to this, or do I keep them like this? No, I think like this is fine. Yeah, I like this so much. And then I need to look at the map. Do we want to go look at the map? Do we want to go look at the map? I think it's time to look at the map. Pictures, maps. Tolbrind. Tolbrind.pdn. Paint.net. Best image editor. I'm going to... Well, I need to stick some things off the side of this. Hold on. It's very classic. You know what? You know what's an underrated bit? The Tails I Miss My Wife thing. The way he says "I'll be back" at the end. I love that part as much as I like any other part of it. I'm the map. Yeah. I think I can delete this. Goodbye. Oh wait, no, just kidding. All right, we gotta raise these up so I can stand on mountains. Grab this, put this, radius. Yeah, like fill that in. Fill that in. Uh, you know what? You know what? And here's another random aside, but I want to talk about it because we always end up talking about movies on this show. Um, for the first time in a while, for the first time in several years of me saying I would do it, I watched Groundhog Day. Almost on Groundhog Day. Close, but not quite. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Paste textures. Thank you. Um, and, man, that's a good movie. I forgot how, like, quickly it wraps up, though. Like, it's a comedy first and foremost, right? It spends a lot of its time on the jokes, on the main character sort of, like, losing his mind and doing crazy stuff. And it wraps up pretty quick at the end. And there isn't even quite enough to show you. Like, the fact that the main character, Phil Connors, played by Bill Murray, who's one of my favorite actors, uh, the fact that he talks with the female lead right before, like, the final scenes and explains everything to her is almost like a background detail. It is literally a background detail. It's something that you can miss immediately, like, blink of an eye, right? Um, but that's important, right? Like, we've seen earlier in the movie that he is able to convince her, and he probably gets better at that because he gets better at everything through the course of the movie. So, like, anyway, point is, Groundhog Day is really funny. The Jeep Gladiator commercial they made in, like, 20 something, 2015, 16, 12, somewhere in there. They made a Jeep commercial. Might have been more recent than that, because when did they come out with the Jeep Gladiator? Maybe 2018. Um, Also really funny, and Bill Murray's delivery at the very beginning of waking up and going, oh no, oh no, is one of the greatest things I've ever heard. Just absolutely pitch perfect. Anyway, let's look at the map. So I'm not going to be able to see the chat for this, as per the usual. But, I do want to say that owning a map of the Skagit River Railway is neat. AKA the Sorry, yeah. Okay, so we are here. You can see the gray blob. And at some point I will update this to show the terrain and texture, but, it is what it is. So look at, I love this area here so much. I just wanted to say that. So we're building out this way. We do need to continue just about in this direction. And then eventually we're going to get to a spot where we've got a curve and run through an area in between some hills. Not really some mountains. Some hills. This is just a very light ridge line where you could have gone around, but they went through this way because there's a little town over here. I don't know what exactly is going to be there. We're probably going to put a road that runs from Randall and Cobra down this way into the sea. In fact, I can draw that in right now. Let's grab this color. This is like a semi-major road. Grab this and make that jagged, and then yeah. So this is an area that is pretty empty in terms of like people and stuff. This is just farmland, so you're gonna have some straight lines. Runs through Randall. I wanted to run like outside of Cobra, but not through Cobra, because Cobra is predominantly a military installation. This map doesn't have to be perfectly, it can be a little diagrammatic. Yeah. So we'll have a road that connects to there. We should also probably have a road that connects this way. And we almost certainly will, but it won't be one of these semi-major roads. Because this is supposed to be like an interstate highway looking thing. And that means we actually have to build an interstate interchange up here. That's something that I need to not forget about, because that's really important. That's the first interchange that we're going to build. Because we are going to have some proper interstate looking highway stuff on here. Um, tomorrow I'm telling how to say the name correctly. Uh, is it not Skagit? Uh, yeah, we are mapping roads now. We doing roads now. Um, but anyway, yeah. Thinking. So yeah, this is going to be in here. We do have to just... The reason I'm checking the map is we have to continue up this way in a pretty straight line. And that's all we need to know. We can close the map now. Sorry. Sorry for all the excited map people. It won't be a cloverleaf because it's 3 points. It should be maybe like a trumpet. Skagit. Skagit? Skagit? Skibbity bop and dot up. Alright. Let's just go in this direction. Let's keep going in this direction. Let's go in a dead straight line. Because why not? The map says we can go in a straight line out of Bellington. And this is the kind of thing where we're going to have to amend this later. Yeah, one big roundabout. Yeah, welcome to Cape Cod. If you've ever driven to Cape Cod, you know exactly what I mean. Skagit? Is it Skagit? I hope it's not Skagit. Okay, good. Better not be. Skagit. Go Skagit Railroad. These are straight lines, so I'm just gonna do this. It's not completely parallel, is it? It's not exactly parallel. Oh no, it is. It's decently parallel. We didn't have tornadoes until they put in the roundabouts. On account of, you want to know why? Oh, that's weird. I don't like that pronunciation. I like Skagit better. Although it does seem like, it does sort of sound like I'm saying something rude. Okay, let's scoot that over that way. And then one more. And then we will still split these spline points down here because having big, long, 3-mile long track splines is not helpful and is not good for anybody. It's not good. Tag Skagit. That's it. I'm getting me Skagit. Alright, there. Okay, this insert spline point. For those of you that watched the Heist Big E blog, the moment about them trying to figure out how to pronounce Gloucester, Mass. Oh my god, I almost died. Gloucester. No! 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 Pain. Anyway, straight and spline. Alright, let's do that. Look up Skagit Valley when you get the chance. Skagit. I may do. Okay, so let's move this way. And then move this like this slightly because wait a second. Undo. There's a neat little game called Freeways, which is if you want to go make a trumpet interchange or a cloverleaf interchange, check out that game. It's like $3. It's really fun. For 20 minutes or something, but it's $3. $3, but you get what you pay for. But no, genuinely, it's a really fun game, and I always thought that the point was that you didn't have an undo button, and then they recently added one. I don't know if that was like a coding limitation, or if they just changed their mind on the game design aspect of it, but like, it was tough without an undo button. And I thought that was the point. I thought it was the point. I thought the point was to suffer. I was there for it. I was there for the suffering. I was there for like the owning your mistakes and then continuing to forward on. You know, straight spline. Okay. I still could probably put a crossover in here, or maybe I should put one in each direction. I don't really know what to do with this. Um, I'm not great at doing yard ladders. Uh, if anyone remembers the Skagit, uh, if anyone remembers the Tamaros Vale and Anaconda, which is canon to this railroad, but was mentioned earlier, so I know that there are some people out there that remember that horrifying thing. It goes to show that you can always improve, and you should never give up because eventually you can make something slightly less crappy. I'd certainly never call anybody else's route that, but it's my route, so I get to do that. No, there were some major track work problems with that route. Like my heart was in the right place, I'd like to think, but I did not know what a tight switch was, and therefore I made them all extraordinarily impossibly tight. TVNRR is canon in the Tolbrin universe. That's correct. I will go back to the map and show you where it's connected because the map is still open. And then we'll go back to doing a yard ladder, which is a lot of fun. I also need to figure out how I'm going to connect these in, and then I need to build an interlocking down there. So, hold on. Look at this graph. I'm sitting in my chair. That's the wrong thing. That's my face. Hi. Thank God I'm okay with showing the world my face, or otherwise that would have been really embarrassing. So, Tamaros is up that way, and then Anaconda is up that way. Because if anyone remembers like the shape of the Tolbrand map or the TVNRR map, it sort of looked like this. Hold on. It sort of looked like. Oh shoot, that's not helpful. Let's use a thicker brush. How about? Sort of looked like the standard gauge looked like this. That was the plan. The area we had built was like down here. Oh, sorry. The standard gauge looked like this. The area we had built was down here. But my plan was to go up and eventually, you know, do this, and then go, you know, this way, and you'd have a way of getting off map in this direction, and in this direction. And Vale was like up here, and Tamaros was of course over here, and then Anaconda was somewhere over here. And then we had the narrow gauge, which the narrow gauge I drew in red, and it sort of looked something like this. That's less funny when you can't see it. It looks something like this. But yeah, so that was the Tamaros Vale and Anaconda. And so those bottom bits of the standard gauge are now here and here. So it's up there. This green is the Tamaros Vale and Anaconda Railroad. And this pink over here is the... oh yeah, because it goes all the way down. This is the new DMAG Tamaros and Akron, I think. Yeah, new DMAG Tamaros and Akron. Which it doesn't get to Tamaros, but it gets to like the Tamaros region. So. And then these go down to like the large coastal, presumably coastal city of New DMAG. Yeah, that's the map. That's the wow. The town name gets me every time. Okay. Do any of the Tolbrin railroads extend off the peninsula, or are they all contained within the peninsula? Good question. They all do, actually, but only a little bit. The Gilson Eastern and the Volga Mountains, they go up here to Jefferson. And the idea was I can run these both off the edge of the map and have a big staging yard, which is something that we're working on. And so staging yard is Jefferson. It's right here, but it's supposed to be like 15 miles to the north. That is a port city, not unlike Portland, Maine, in terms of geography and size and shape. The Gilson Eastern also goes off the map to the south towards New Demag, and the Zion and Skyline goes off the map here towards Akron, which is over here. The VMR doesn't go off the map here, although once upon a time it would have. Your barge bridge is right here. So we will have a barge bridge on the map. And then the only major Tolbrand railroad that is insular is the New Shoreham Tramway, but that's because it's here. It's a suburban railway. Then you have this railroad, which is a small railroad, which I accidentally used the same color as the other one, but whatever. It's the Purnell and Purcell. I think I'm going to name this Purnell. As well as, of course, the Mansfield Branch Railroad. You have that one still, and then the Geiger Mountains, which is insular, although they do have a car float connection here, so they can send 3-foot gauge cars out via barge to God knows where, because you can get them over here across the Continental Divide down into Akron and then into the big river that goes down that way. So, yeah. So every railroad here, including the New Shoreham Tramway, because they would have a car float that could leave as well, has a way to send cars off the map and receive cars from off the map. So basically everything has a non-insular connection. Part of that is just for intrigue and for sort of lore and intrigue and lore. It's also just really useful for staging things. Fascinatory. I'm glad you appreciate that. I really like it. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is, so this is technically some kind of drill track. We need a big long drill track back here. This is probably gonna look like the end of Providence Yard, actually, for those who know the Providence Northern. You're gonna have a big long drill track back here for drilling stuff into the back end of the yard. And you're going to have crossovers here onto the other two arrival departure tracks, which in the PN these would be the main line, but they're not. In fact, oh shoot. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to nix this one a little early, probably. So if I bring this out to, say, here, and I'm going to need to give it a little bit more room because they're crowding. That's on me, because these tracks aren't perfectly parallel. Pronounced Diablo? Okay, interesting. And then what I'm going to do is add a crossover here that goes between this and this. Got some interesting names up there. Straight and Spline. I need to have some interesting names. I don't have enough. That one's straightened already. So this, and then I want to tuck this one back in. So like there. Straight and Spline. Pull this back a little bit. Using a ruler to like do switches is probably the objectively right way to do it. I just cannot be bothered. Yeah, and I want to be able to get stuff out of this track. So I'm going to need another crossover. Actually, let's move this back to, let's say right there instead of right here. Move this back sort of in kind. Right, that way we'll have those together. And then I want this to go from this track to this track so that I have as much room on the drill as possible for shenanigans. As much room on the drill as possible for pulling cars out of there. Yeah. And then I want to tuck this into here. And then add a crossover in the opposite direction, because this one is fine if it's a little in the way. Those are long crossover. Well, they're not that long, actually. Okay, straighten spline point. I'm eyeballing like most of this stuff, and you can get way better at it than this. You can get way more specific, way more careful. You can do rulers, you can draw things. I'm going to make my life a little easier, and instead of putting those switches really close together, I'm going to shorten that track slightly, give myself enough room to tie this in with enough room, straighten that, it was already straightened. Straighten this, and then tuck this track in like this, instead of that. It makes that yard track a little bit shorter, but in theory it'd be a little bit easier to maintain, and it's a little bit easier for me to build. So, that's a shortcut right there. And we've got 20 minutes. Do I feel like doing this right now? Oh shoot! I forgot about this track. I want to be able to get this. Okay, we'll do something. See, something you see in rail yards that you don't see in model railroads is really dumb-looking, space-inefficient designs. Model railroads are constrained by space, sort of as a general rule. Real rail yards are, but not nearly as much, because, like I've said many a time, the United States grew up around the railroad, and the railroad generally, even still, has a free pass that says I do what I want. So if they need more space for a rail yard, they're going to get more space for a rail yard. And they're not going to do, you're not going to do something like this necessarily in a model, because not only does it look dumb, rail yards often look really dumb, it is not the most space efficient way to connect these tracks. Not even close. So yeah. Let's put that over there. Yeah. Because we can trunk all this down now. There's no reason that, you know, if you're drilling a train, you're gonna just pull out of the way to let something out of there come out. And there's no two ways around that. You're gonna have to do that anyway. Unless I were to make the drill track the middle track and have these two go around it, but you really wouldn't bother to do that, I don't think. Probably not anyway. I could put an industry off the drill track though. We do have to fit some other industries in over here, I think. Even though this is the edge of town, you might have some new stuff. Some really new stuff that does like boxcar distribution or whatever. And this is a really perfect looking set of crossovers, and I hate to ruin it, but it would not look like that. This would already be sort of pulling away, I would imagine, because we have to get, oh shoot, we have to get this over to the tracks here without it looking super dumb. But we can worry about that interlocking at a future date. I wouldn't be surprised if railroads start trying to optimize track length, sacrifice ease of access to switches in favor of longer sidings and such. I mean, with the way that PSR is going, that would make a lot of sense, at least for main lines. But, you know, even still, I don't think there are going to be too many situations where a railroad is strapped for space. Anymore, or, you know, in the current era, right? Because railroads have been so big, and now they're not quite as big. So they usually have space to go around, right? Um, yeah, I mean, we should. If you're gonna do like an 18,000 foot long train, you might as well just double track your railroad. But there's plenty of things on a list of things the class ones should be doing that they aren't doing, and of course the reason is money. They need line go up because otherwise the shareholders get mad, and if the shareholders get mad, then the CEO gets thrown out, and then then they have to go and get a different CEO job somewhere. Um, it's not like the railroads don't have the money to do it. Like, yeah, that kind of stuff is expensive, but that's not the limiting factor, you know. Just imagine going to CTC yards. Yeah, I mean, when you are moving a lot of trains, like not necessarily few long trains, many short trains, you want everything to be signalized. You want everything to be controlled because the more trains you have, the more operators you have, and the more operators you have, the more room for operator error, right? And it's a different paradigm in Europe. It's a different paradigm in in something like North Platte. It's something that isn't seen anywhere. And we were talking about last week, like medium yards and very large yards. I don't know if North Platte is fully CTC, but I wouldn't be surprised because if any yard in the U.S. is gonna be, it's gonna be North Platte, right? Like that's a huge yard. It processes a lot of cars. Um, but you know, setting up that stuff is expensive. Uh, and when you have a big yard with big trains, but only a couple of people operating at a time because your trains are few but very, very long, um, you don't need that as much because you can keep track of one or two moving locomotives at a time. And there was something that came up close to the Terminus podcast that didn't get a lot of airtime because we didn't get to talk about it because nobody really wanted to grab it as a subject. There was a situation some months ago um, with somebody that was killed by a remote control locomotive. And there are instances of people being hit by their own remote control locomotive, but that's not what I'm talking about. There was someone that got hit at a crossing or near the rail yard, right? I'm not sure if this was a trespasser or what. I just remember that a civilian, not a railroad worker, uh, got killed by a remote controlled engine, and no one knew because there wasn't an engineer in the engine to see the engine running somebody over. You know, um, and I don't know exactly where I was going with this, other than the fact that it's an interesting conundrum and has to do with remote control engines uh, in a yard like North Platte or in a yard like Selkirk that I'm much more familiar with than North Platte, um, where yeah you're using RC engines and you can most of the time see them from the tower, and sometimes you got to go sometimes you got to go like get in the pickup truck and go to where the RC locomotive is, but like you should always have a line of sight on that thing, and when you don't, you run into problems. When you have a yard that is being handled by something like RC engines, you usually have a yard that's only going to be running one or two engines at a time. Like a big hump with a couple of engines, one trimming the bowl and one, sorting out other things. Uh, I would imagine, right? Like when I'm no expert on any of this stuff, of course. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm trying to use intuition here, and I'm trying to use intuition because I'm looking at this rail yard in front of us, and as I've been building it, I've been trying to make sure. Oh, we didn't do all these. Oh wait, that's a stub yard. We're keeping these as stubs. Um, I've been trying to think like, hey, how would I do this? How would I do this if I wanted to make sure that engines could get around one another? I wanted to make sure that these tracks can be drilled without getting in the way uh, of trains coming in or trains coming out. We need arrival departure tracks, something that I always forget. You know, given the plug and drive packs out there, do you think there might be less truly RC locos? I mean, probably, like in the future or just in general. Because if you can grab any old locomotive and turn it into an RC engine, then you don't need to have a locomotive that's a dedicated RC switcher. You probably don't. You're probably going to have engines that are dedicated RC switchers, insofar as they are the locomotives that are usually designated for such a thing in a given yard. But it might be a fleet of locomotives or a bunch of similar engines that what did I just do? I really thought this was going to be able to you know, come on. I want to lower this without lowering the engine house. Anyway, I figure what you would probably do in a situation where getting locomotives for remote control is relatively easy. Like, okay, you just go plug your thing into that locomotive, and then it's your RC engine. Boom. Like, I could see. Let's see. I could see engines being earmarked for it, but not specifically equipped with it. Not specifically equipped with it. As in, you know, you have your fleet of switchers, and any one of those could be assigned to RC duty, and that would help because it would help your bottom line a bit, because now when you have an engine that is no longer, you know, no longer available because something's broken, then you grab one of those other engines that are earmarked for that duty, just one of your other switchers, and you throw the MU pack on it, or the RC pack on it, and you call it a day. Like, that's, if I were running a rail yard, that's probably what I would want to do. Oops, too far. Yeah, that's fine. This is a little bit... Whoa, no. Uh-oh. Last time I went past a board like that, I fell down a mine. Alright, fix that. Ah, fudge. Okay. Let's fix that again. Give me this spline height. And apply it to that. Alright, cool. Alright, we've got our turntable pit. It's about damn time. Been looking at that for a while. But I do expect that there will be fewer intrinsically RC engines and more, but a greater proliferation of using remote control, because it's easy, because it helps, because you can run a whole rail yard from the tower, you know? Like, it doesn't get better than that. There are wireless RC packs. Just got back from dealing with laundry. I only know of the handheld remotes, like from Derail Valley. There are, yes, there are. It's similar to that. Those are the ones that I've seen. I don't know about stuff that, you know, like that combination of factors, like where you can take a pack and just stick it on any locomotive, and then you have an RC engine. I'm not aware of such a thing, but you made it sound like that was a thing. Like RC adapters for towers. Okay. See, there are handheld packs, and if you have an adapter that you can throw on a locomotive, it seems like a no-brainer that you would be sticking them on all your shunters. Or at least you'd have a set for shunters that you would then just stick on whatever shunter you want to use at that moment. You know? Like, that makes sense to me. That's what I'd be doing in that position. I feel like I've seen dudes walking around with the RC packs for there are handheld controls just wired straight to the MU. Interesting. But yeah, it's an interesting conundrum. I feel like we're gonna see more and more and more of that if we haven't already sort of hit the plateau of RC engines. And it's just like, okay, yeah, if you can keep an eye on it, then you can use it. Okay, let's do that. I should probably put a buffer on every single one of these, and also a tail track. I don't know what exactly I'm going to be fitting into this roundhouse. I mean, it's gonna be all Gilson Eastern power, right? I have to seed it, and I have to seed Olive and stuff like that. We finished like nuking the AI, but we really have to make sure this route is properly seeded with everything that we're gonna need. We're probably gonna have a little bit of passenger power, although the passenger power is probably all gonna be staged over here in the layover yard. We're gonna have a bunch of freight power, but not really anything too substantial. Like, we'll probably have a couple of relatively slow, relatively chunky engines. If I look at the assets and timetables, right? If I look at the stock that the Gilson Eastern is supposed to have, they've got a couple of 210-2s. They've got a handful of 210-2s, and I would imagine seeing those over here. They've also got like a couple of Baldwin Shark Noses, or a couple of Baldwin Centipedes even. I would expect to see those stationed out of here, too, because this is the Island of Misfit Toys. This is the bottom of a grade that doesn't get used much, but is very annoying, that the railroad was never totally satisfied with, and, you know, it is what it is. It is a place where you would then get a lot of engines you wouldn't necessarily see in this on this railroad. Oh no. No. Ah, fudge, now I'm stuck with it. Son of a gun. Wait a minute, I have an idea. Extend these out. And the tail tracks are essential for the AI. People always ask me why I do this. There's a message from Gloria. Is it, can you pick you up? Can you come get me? I mean, it would be good for the car. I just don't feel like it. And also my tummy. We're going to find this out live on air. Did you eat? That's going to make the difference. I don't really love having tail tracks that are just like all over the place, but what are you going to do? Okay. Let's jump into Surveyor 2.0. Yeah, it would be good for the car. I guess I'll get onto the highway and go. Oh wait, I don't have it selected. Where's the BNSF 50 visible track? The one that I always use. There it is. Please work. Yay! Okay. Great success. These are probably not as long as they need to be, but they'll work. So we've got that. Sorta wrong. Sorta right, sorta wrong. It's part of made by a control chief called Trainz Chief. Big box stuck on the walkway that plugs into the MU with a wireless controller. Stung an image and not model rating. I'd love to see this thing. I was kind of thinking this is what you meant. That's neat. What railroad is this? Something in Pennsylvania. Why am I... What's going on? Fake sports radio for Iron Horse and Radio, yeah. What is going on with the pickles? Oh, I never sent this. Okay. Anyway, it's probably about time to wrap up. I'm pretty dang hungry. And Gloria's asking if I can go get them. So let's add one more tail track, and we've got 5 minutes to the end here, and this yard is basically done. Like, that's an accomplishment. I'm glad that we got this yard done. We don't have the interlocking at this end done, but whatever. That's a future problem, right? Um, excuse me. So, you know, yeah, we've got to add one over there. But yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this yard. If there's anything anyone is thinking that we don't have in this yard, uh, you can drop a comment, and I will try to remember to respond to it and try to squeeze it in, because we've got coal and water, we've got diesel fueling and service, we've got sand, we've got a water tower, we've got roundhouse and diesel engine pole barn, we've got a coach yard, power plant, we've got our grain yard, we've got our manifest, like regular cargo yard, we've got our coach yard, which is small, and we've got our ash pit back here. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Under Construction. I will see you next week. This is the Admiral, signing off.